Hello viewers, it's Super TT here once again with some more gameplay in Forza 6 online in A class around the Nurburgring Nordschleife. So we're going to let everyone go past here and I'll go into last place and we're going to see how many positions we can get from 21st. So there's one already into turn 1. It's all kicking off as it always does around this first corner. And I'm going to take the short route there. Go straight up into 10th position. That's no holding back there, just go straight up into 10th, and now I've gained about 10 positions in about 1 second, which is pretty good going if you ask me. And coming through here, it's a very chaotic looking scene up ahead. I'm just going to hold back and try to get through, tap the NSX, couldn't really go anywhere, but somehow get through all of that in 7th position. So in the matter of about 20 seconds I've gone from 21st all the way up into 7th, and there's going to be another position gained here as the mono goes wide at the hairpin. So we've got a Mazda RX-7 going a little bit wide, but as we come up into the chicane I'm not going to go up for the overtake there. Don't quite have the run on him on at the entry there, sorry I couldn't quite get my words out. So coming up here, that Ferrari cuts across at the last second on the MX-5. Luckily there wasn't contact and we are through into 5th position, still following the MX-5. If I don't have the pace to get through him straight away, I have to be patient I guess. I'm only going to go through if I can get a clean move done. First place has got a decent gap developed. He's already around the chicane that we're coming up to now. Looking up the inside, not quite there. The MX-5 makes contact with the Plymouth Prowler, I guess that is. So I'm going to go around his outside as he didn't get much momentum through there. He's going to go late on the brakes and go a little bit wide here on the exit, which gives me the inside line for the left hand of the first turn on the Nordschleife section. And that's a clean move through into 4th. So my patience has paid off there with a clean move. Now this is the very tricky part because as we all know, the Nordschleife is very narrow. I'm going to go around his outside there. He's actually just driven off the track. There was no contact. And perhaps he was a bit scared of my presence. And that guy's gone a little bit wide. And that's through into 2nd with another clean move done on the Nordschleife section. So as I was saying, we all know that this section is very, very narrow. Or this whole track is very narrow. So it's very hard to overtake. Normally you do have to just make the most of other people's mistakes like I did just there. 3 times, and that is how you get past a lot of people, just by being patient, hope that they make a mistake. You do have a lot of time on this track. It is a good long 10 or so minutes going around this track, especially with the Grand Prix circuit added in as well. So looking forward here, obviously we can't see too much because it is dark. I'm just looking for some tail lights up ahead, see if you can see the guy going to the corner ahead. And just about yet you can see him just go around there. Not sure what car he's in, although we will try and find that out later because it is quite important around this track to work out what car the other people are driving. Mostly because of the straight at the back end of the track. If your car has no straight line speed, you've just got no chance of keeping someone behind you who has got straight line speed. So we've got to try, and as I go wide there, carried a little bit too much speed, but luckily the barrier was quite close to the edge of the track, didn't go too far wide, and I managed to keep the car going in a straight, or keep going forwards without losing too much time. So coming through, I like to think of this as like the second phase of the track now, or the second phase of the Nordschleife, and I'm going to go a little bit wide. Actually no, I'm going to go very wide here. And as I tried to come back onto the track, I totally misjudged it and stay off the track, losing valuable seconds. So I was gaining a little bit there. Did get the gap down to about 600 feet, or about 500 feet or so. But then I obviously lost quite a few seconds there. Would have been a lot closer. Now the gap has gone up to about 900 to 1,000 feet between me and the leader. So I did lose valuable time there. Although the guy in 3rd is still about 600 feet behind, so managing the gaps quite nicely forwards and backwards. We don't really have to worry about the guy behind at the moment. I do have a decent gap to him. So this is a tricky section here coming right up. I always struggle around here. So coming in, I'm going to get on the brakes nice and early to make sure I don't go wide. It can be quite deceiving. And this corner here, you can actually take quite a lot of speed through this right-hander up the hill. I think the uphill nature of it gives you a lot more downforce than normal, because obviously the car is pressing into the track more, which means you can take it at a slightly higher speed. It is very bumpy though, so you do have to watch out for that. So coming through here, this is a flat-out corner. I do actually lift off a little bit there, but you can be taken flat out normally in A class. So actually, I didn't actually say I'm driving the Cadillac, and normally this car does have a very good top end. So we're going to see up this straight. I'm about 700 feet behind. Let's see what the gap goes down to or up to at the end of the straight, and that will give us a good indicator as to the straight line speed of the guy in front. And actually, I'm gaining big time here because that gap has gone down to 500 feet and now 400 feet. So this actually bodes very well for the end of the race. If I can keep behind him until the very long straight at the end, I'm easily going to go past him. I just gained 300 feet there in about 10 seconds. So it obviously shows that he hasn't got a very good car for the straight lines. And what car has he got there? It's actually a Caterham. So that actually makes a lot of sense. He's got a car which is very much orientated around handling. So he should be very good around this next section. I really do like this next section. After the carousel, so obviously try and get yourself onto the camber as much as possible here to help you round. Once you get onto that camber, it really can hook you round. You can take quite a lot of speed once you get onto it. And this section here is one of my favourite sections of any track in the game. It can be very hard to get right, especially at night when you can't see much. But this guy should, in theory, get away from me here because he has got a handling based car. This car that I'm driving, the Cadillac, is pretty good handling wise, although it is a bit heavy, a bit stiff. It has got quite a lot of its PI into speed and acceleration, meaning its handling should not be as good as the Caterham. Although having said that, I am keeping with him here. Perhaps my knowledge of this track is keeping me with him. I have done so many laps around this track online, not just in Forza 6 but Forza 5, Forza 4, Forza 3, Forza 2 even. I've done so many laps, probably hundreds and hundreds of laps around here. I almost know it off by heart. So coming up into this final section, I'm actually checking behind it because this guy behind is actually gaining. He's actually only 300 feet behind, and I'm losing time here because I can't really find a way past this guy. Not cleanly anyway. It's actually very hard to get a clean pass done, as I said earlier. You sort of have to wait for the other guy to make a mistake. And he's going a bit wide here, but still there's no room for me. So I'm going to look up the inside here, but he's going to cut across. There's no chance for me to go past there. The guy in third is actually very close behind him. It's actually developing into a very close race as we near the final section of the circuit. So there's only a few more corners left now as we get into before we get to the final straight. And he's gone wide again. I think he's feeling the pressure here because he's making quite a lot of mistakes. Now I'm going to look behind, and actually the guy in third is actually very close now. So he's developing into a very close race, and he's gone wide on the second to last corner before the long straight, which hands me the lead. And actually the guy who was in third has gone through as well, so he's going to follow me through. So we're now first and second. The guy who's winning has gone down into third because of that mistake, but I think he would have lost the positions on this straight anyway. So we're going to have to see here what this guy has got under his bonnet, because I don't know what car he has, the guy behind me, and actually he is gaining on me. So this is going to be very close as we enter the final few seconds of this lap. So this is where the old start line used to be on Forza 4, but we're not going to finish here. We're going to go through onto the Nurburgring Grand Prix circuit to complete the lap, and he's actually getting very close here as we enter the final few turns, entering at full speed as we come up through the very fast curves here. And he's actually got on the brakes quite early. I'm going to brake a little bit later and go a little bit narrow. He gets very close. I can see brake lights there, and he was looking for a gap there on the final turn, but luckily I just about managed to cover him off. And that was a very intense race. I can tell you my heart was beating when this race was finishing. I was so nervous that I wasn't going to win that, but luckily just about managed to get the job done in the end. I was just very pleased that I was patient with that Caterham. I could have easily have just tapped him wide and made a mistake and gone through into the lead, But I was very patient, waited for him to make a mistake. I did it multiple times in this race and it actually worked. And that guy in second, fair play to him, he caught up and really gave it a very good go at the end there. And he might have actually gone past if he was a bit more brave on that final turn. But on the whole, that was a really good race, really pleased with that. I did a race around here in the night, very early in when the game came out, called it This Is Intense, and I think this race is also very intense, especially at the end there, because I wasn't quite sure if he was going to get me. I really thought he might have done. But I hope you have enjoyed this video, guys. Remember to hit the like button if you did, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and you want to see more Forza 6 content coming your way. So I thank you again very much for watching the video. Make sure you tune in next time, and I shall see you next time. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.